All right, time for Unchained. Patrick, let's start with this. Vikings Niners on Sunday. Now, you have been firmly, as we've talked about a bunch, on the bandwagon
Homer,
since for
a
months
homer.
now. How are you feeling for the home opener?
I see a victory. I really do see a victory. Just because I don't think McCaffrey's playing, is he? He rarely
I don't think
plays.
so.
I think they save him for they save him for December and then hope that he can is at full speed. He's fantastic. Who's so they got Samuel, but who else? Who carries
Ayuk,
the ball now? Some guy named Mason was that?
yes, he was
Who's
the
he?
running back on Monday who had a
Mm-hmm.
great game. And to be truthful, I had never heard of in
Never
my
heard of
life
him
before
either.
that. But they've got Debo and Ayuk.
Kittle.
And if you recall, Debo Samuel and Trent Williams, their Pro Bowl left tackle,
Yes.
didn't play in the game here last year that the Vikings
Yeah.
won. So
Okay. Trent Williams didn't play
he
that
did not
game.
play in that game.
He apparently is phenomenal. I mean, it's not like you don't recognize tackles the way you used to because everybody's spread out defensively and they're out there blocking different guys. But he's obviously tremendous, even though he's what, 32, 33 by now, isn't he? He's
Oh,
been
God,
around
at
for a
least.
while. He's been
Feels like he's been
around for a
around
while,
forever.
but he was another guy holding out, right? He didn't
Yes.
he didn't play, but then all of a sudden, was he
Yep.
getting fined or did they not have a contract with him? Was he able to hold out without getting 6 million in fines like Reddick or something?
That's a good question. I don't
I
know.
don't know. I know he was not there, but yeah, well, they're good. There's no doubt about it. And Purdy, I'm coming around. Okay, I'm coming around. I was really like, this guy's just a game manager and stuff like
He's
that.
good.
But I think it'll be fun. It'll be great. It's too bad it's not a it's not a Monday nighter or a Sunday nighter or
Yeah.
something. I mean, they're just sneaking in here and playing this game at noon. You know what that shows? That shows a lack of respect
Oh,
for
yeah.
the
Bulletin board.
Vikings. That shows a lack of respect that they did, even though it's the 49ers, they
Hmm.
didn't feel that we were enough of a challenge to put it even at make it even the 3:30 game on Sunday, right? They
Right.
didn't do that.
Pat, there's a
So,
report too that about 35% of the seats are 49ers fans. So that they're going to
That
try to
happened last
pack
year.
this place. And
do
last
they
Monday,
really travel like that? I didn't know
Purdy,
they travel
yes.
like
Purdy
that.
and Kittle.
Oh, really?
Those fans come up. The Kittle fans and the Purdy fans come up
Okay,
and
remind me,
did last year too from
Where's
Iowa.
Kittle from? Remind me, where's he
Well, he
from?
went to Iowa, and I
He's
think
from
he's
Oh, that's
Wisconsin,
right. He's
but he
from,
went. Yeah,
he's
Yeah.
he's a Hawkeye tight end. You
Yeah.
know
Tight
what
end
is
you.
that? Talk about a tree. That's like the tree of trees, isn't it? Hawkeye tight ends, and it's amazing because it looks like they once again have put together an offense that stinks for this season. They got beat by Iowa State 20-19, but the tight end. Uh, Now they didn't. Detroit didn't feed Laporta as much the other night when I was watching him. He caught a couple early, but they didn't feed him like he did. But getting us to take Hawkinson off their hands so they could get Laporta was pretty much genius for the Lions. I'll give them credit for that. Here's what I was thinking about the Vikings this morning, though. I actually had a deep thought about the Vikings. Who was Jerry Reichow now? Who was the college guy? I know Ryan Munnins is out there, but we never go beyond anymore. You never go beyond the head coach, and Quasi. Those are the only guys that ever talk, right?
it's been that way. Been that way for a long time, Pat.
You
Been
get
that
a
way for a long
coordinator. You
time.
get a coordinator, but God, if we started coaching quoting college scouts, they'd have a heart attack out there, right? I mean, they're not.
Oh God,
They're supposed to.
they'd
These
freak.
guys are they like the Twins? They got a bunch of guys that
So
walk around with iPads and won't make if you end up in an elevator with them, they won't make eye contact.
they're just unknowns, and but so this goes
There's
back.
there's a dozen of them. I
The
was looking at
loss
the roster today.
the loss of the Reichow days and
Yes.
Gilliam days
Yes.
and Wigan days goes way back now.
Yeah.
I could tell this story now, but when Wigan he was either being demoted or moved or something, and
Yes.
so I called Paul and he confirmed it, and he said you can quote me, I don't care. And I said, well, I won't quote you because,
Yeah.
Spielman pulls me aside the next day at practice and says, if I find out that you talked to Paul, that might jeopardize his job.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So,
And Paul is still out there, by the way, and
Paul's a
an
Hall of Fame.
advisor.
But I mean, imagine that. Like
Yeah.
this is Paul Wiggin, one of the, great names, the
Yes.
old school. And I'm being basically told if I find out that he confirmed anything to you, it could
Hmm.
cost him this job. How ridiculous is that?
Yeah, and that's the way it is. But it's not like in Mankato you wander up and started talking to one of those guys when they were standing on the sideline. And,
Boomtown, Patrick.
I would,
Boomtown.
I would think they'd run for cover if you discovered who any. I mean, I know Ryan Munnins. He's the only guy of all those people out. I looked at they had like 10 guys listed as college scouts. He's the only one I ever heard of was Munnins, and he's been out there shuffling papers for a long time and doing stuff. And
Yeah.
he's a good guy, but he's also smart enough not to say anything. But it is amazing the way, and this doesn't make the Vikings unique. You got all these guys, wandering around at the Twins' place too, and nobody, once in a while you can get a quote from Jeremy Zoll, which is not going to
Oh, I'm sure that's exciting.
set the world on fire or anything like that. But it is amazing how we used to. Hey, Frank, what's up? Frank can talk to you. Hey, Jerry, what's going on?
And during the training camp days in Mankato, you'd see these guys in bars at night and could go talk to them and have a few drinks and find out stuff. And let's say get a cell phone from them and then check in with them. That's all dead now. And they are far more threatened. I guarantee it.
Oh yeah.
If you talk to
But
XYZ.
It was occurring to me today
Yep.
that the quotes we get never go below Quasi. And you're lucky to get any from him, but they never go below Quasi. That why are you? How was this decision made? I mean, what did you? I mean, who told you? I was thinking like, who told them we got to have Dallas Turner? Was it who told them that? I mean, that's not a big secret, but what scout do they go down and watch Alabama workouts?
Well,
and say this guy's
I don't.
phenomenal.
You know what? I don't know that they do now.
Maybe they do. It's all video. Maybe
I
it's
think
all video.
Flores tells them what I think Flores watches film, consults with the scouts, and then tells them because Quasi's not a football guy, right? He's not a hardcore football guy. So I think it's Flores and O'Connell basically tell them, because of, to your point, all the film you can watch now, what they want, and they go from there. But yeah, it's a different world. It's not nearly as much fun.
But you got to have somebody go down there and check out the kid and see what
Sure.
kind of guy he is and all that kind of stuff. I mean,
Teams miss on that, Patrick.
yeah, they do.
Teams miss on that a lot.
They Jordan Addison being a case A at this point, but if he's not hurt, he's doing something stupid. By the way, when is he? Isn't it? I thought it was today that he gets that he's got to go to court or something. Doesn't he have to go to court here one of these days?
I think
Or
his counsel just goes, not him.
Okay. I thought it was September 12th that something was going on with him, but
Yeah.
because he's got a bad ankle. I wonder if the NFL will wait to suspend him until he's healthy or not, or if they're just give him a 2-gamer and he's hurt anyway, so might not miss any time. So anyway, yes, who fills in for him? Who do we like receiver wise? Second and third wide receivers. Who do we like?
Probably Jalen Naylor will get a bulk of targets. They had Trent Sherfield out on the field a lot, Judd. Not a lot, but more than I expected in week 1. He might get some of those shares.
Who the
And
hell
they
is
elevated.
He's an undrafted, right? He's an undrafted
Veteran, free agent, blocker.
Okay.
And
Blocker,
I
he's real
believe
good.
they elevated Jeshwan Jones earlier this week.
He's on the practice squad. Yeah, they
I think
released
they
the guy
elevated
and signed
him.
him.
Yeah.
Oh no, they'll do that on Saturday. But I mean, if they don't have Jordan, it definitely hurts them. I mean, that's not a good thing. But that being said, they like Naylor. I think Powell is the 3.
Okay, little tiny
And
guy.
and the Sherfield dude is a block. He strictly meat and potatoes, but it's important, downfield blocking, things like that.
Well, anyway, yeah, it'll be a good game. It'll be fun. Too bad but again, we're being disrespected here. By God, let's go.
Get
Let's
this,
get
Patrick.
back.
In 2 weeks, the Packers game at noon at Lambeau.
Wow,
Well, where
that's
the disrespect is up and down the schedule.
yes, it is. Are they still running the bluff over there that Jordan Love might play, or did they list him as a no? You got to on Friday. You got to tell us something, don't you?
Today, you have to tell us
Yeah.
status. What? It's now out questionable. They dropped probable because it was so stupid.
And yeah.
Oh, by the way, quarterbacks. How would you like to be on the hook for $250 million for Tua? Oof. That was you could see that was a concussion right away there.
Yeah.
His neck snapped. His neck snapped.
Yeah.
And then you go back to 2 years ago, he missed most of the season, right? With two of them back to back, and they pointed that out last night, and I guess I knew it. I just didn't recall it that his last concussion situation changed the way they do concussions. Basically, created the tent, didn't it?
Yeah.
Where you send them over and put them in the tent.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime it looks like somebody, you got the spy up in the the press bar or wherever he is now, calling down saying, get this guy off the field because of that, right? Because of the Tua thing 2 years
Right.
ago.
Right.
So
Exactly.
yeah, that's the thing
scary
about
stuff.
that's the pick. Last year, how many did we end up losing? 8 or 9 starting quarterbacks, maybe like that. Something maybe
Probably.
more than that.
Uh-huh.
That's the problem with giving these guys all the money. What
Yes.
what if this guy never plays again?
Yeah, which is at least a possibility right now.
God, yes. Yeah, it is. By the way, before he ever got a concussion, he was awful. What were those passes?
That's
God
what Brian Flores was
almighty.
trying to tell you.
Yeah. The one to the sideline was brutal.
What?
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, what the hell was that?
Yeah, what was he
Like
trying to
tossed it
he's
across
not
the field.
strong. He's not strong enough arms to throw it out of bounds, for God's sakes, which is what he was trying to do, and he just lobs it to the sideline. But what an ass kicking. I didn't realize that the Bills have won 12 of the last 13 against these guys.
Yeah, they've dominated them.
They just killed them. They
Yeah.
killed them last night. So, this is a Buffalo team that had to give away half their team, right? Because of the cap problems. They
Yeah.
lost 6, 7, 8 guys. So
Yes.
that was a butt kicking. But yeah, it'll be fun. I'd almost be tempted to watch it. I'm not going to. I'd almost be tempted to go down there. I'm tempted. I'm not gonna, but I'm tempted. to go
Really?
watch
Look,
the game.
this is incredible.
Yes.
Your late life transformation to a Vikings defender is incredible.
If a fat old sports writer could use the front entrance instead of having to walk all the way around the building to go in the back after
one, yeah.
parks.
What if I pick you up
Then
and
I
drive
might
you to the press entrance and drop you off there?
That's a possibility. That's a possibility.
Now you'd have to find your own way home because I've
Yes,
got to stay
yeah,
post game.
right,
That's an
yes,
unfortunate
That's true.
pitfall of that.
Yes. Plus, God, it's fun watching on TV when you don't have, when you can, you don't have to. First of all, it's a much better seat. TV is a much better seat than sitting up there and God's nowhere. We forgot how great we had it at the Metrodome. We were on the 50-yard line, right behind the first deck. It was fantastic. It's going to be the way you remember the press box at Target Field in about 2 years. You're going to remember that when we're up there 2 decks higher. That section that is closed to fans in April now. That's
Open to
what
us.
we're going to be. We're going to
It's
be
going to be
up
open to
there.
media in April.
Yes, it'll be. We're. Young Joe Poland has got his eye on that baby. I've heard that.
So Buxton back tonight.
Yes. And let's put him in center field. We're not going to do any of this DH nonsense, right? He's going to play
Correct.
center field.
He's going to play center.
Okay, let's go. Let's see it. It's we'll have to see it, and it's one of those games where you're kind of sitting there. It was a different case, obviously, but it takes me back to the '80s when they have Jimmy Eisenreich playing center field to start the season, and you would be hopeful and almost prayerful that he would make it, and then he'd start pacing around in center field, and he'd say, "Oh my God, it's back again." So that's with him. Every time he runs, every time he does anything, you're gonna say, "Oh yeah, okay."
Here we go.
I mean, let's face it. We've talked about this. When he had that 6-week run this year, that was a Buxton I never thought we'd see again.
Agreed.
Running the bases, getting hits, running the ball down in center field. I said, I never could imagine seeing that guy again. And but now you'll be there tonight and you'll be saying, okay, okay, he just hit a double. Is he gonna get it to home? Is he gonna survive? It's one of those situations. So anyway, but hey, it'll be a help, that's for sure. I got to apologize again for assuming Kersey was the guy getting sent out. I suppose they
Still
want to
bothers.
get Austin. They
He's
want to
a-
get Austin Martin some at bats, huh? Before the
Yeah.
postseason or
Is
something.
that it? Okay.
He's
And-
obviously a valuable player that they would want for the playoffs, I would think, because they can, play him anywhere in the field.
And Kersey wasn't on the 40-man before September 1st, so he's not even eligible,
Yeah,
I believe,
right.
to be on the playoff roster.
I-
Austin Martin's still on it, so he can still be back on a playoff roster. And if
if Buxton can't go, they can bring
Yeah.
him back because you don't have to keep a guy in the minors for 10 days if somebody gets hurt. So anyway,
how about
that's,
the 6th-round pick, Patrick, that the Twins cut? Did you hear about this yesterday?
no.
Came out last night. Yeah.
So this came out last night from Jeff Passan at ESPN. The Twins drafted a catcher, I think Derek Banner, out of the 6th round. They released him yesterday because he was tipping pitches to the other team and literally telling the opponents what was coming because he wanted the season to be over. And the other managers went over to the Fort Myers guys and said, "Your catcher is telling our hitters what's coming." So the Twins have parted ways, reportedly, with their 6th-round pick. He gets to keep his entire slot bonus, too.
It's a good deal.
Where the hell did he come from? Nice.
Coastal Carolina, I think. A catcher, too.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
my
So he was just
God.
telling the batters what was
He
coming.
was telling the
This
batters
is-
what was coming. He didn't
this
want to
is
play
a-
anymore.
Who's managing that club? Who's down there at the Fort? Now is this is the so this is the A ball the low A ball team, right?
Yeah.
This is-
Derek
Brian
Bender.
Meyer.
Okay.
Brian Meyer's managing Fort Myers.
Derek Bender is the kid's name.
Derek Bender. Okay,
It's a hell of a story.
that's a great story. That's a
It's
fantastic.
a Crash
story.
Davis type of thing where he
Yes.
was tipping Nuke's pitches because he was pissed at Nuke LaLoosh.
Yes, right. It is. So the guy probably had a party to go to back home. He wanted to make sure. He wants the season to be over. Why would this not make the playoffs? Is that?
Yes.
'Cause the
They,
playoffs.
they were in the playoff race. Correct.
Playoffs last for 5 minutes down there in that league anyway.
He didn't want to last 5 minutes. He wanted out.
Ooh, I wonder who recommended that guy to the ball
Yeah.
club. That's it'll be the double speak on this one will be interesting tonight at the old ball yard, won't it?
Yeah. I think
Wow.
we'll get a no comment ongoing investigation type
Yeah,
I was
of-
gonna
type
say,
of
I
don't
thing
think they'll
from
make a
Falvey
comment.
and the boys. Yeah.
That's that's great.
Curveball.
Unbelievable.
Change up.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Got her.
So he's got a girlfriend back home. He's going to marry or some damn thing, right? He wanted to make sure he got home for the party or some damn thing.
Well, there's just lots of beer back home.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And
Unbelievable.
a slot signing bonus of just under 300,000 that he gets to keep every dime of
We need that back.
pre-taxes.
With the way things are
Well,
going. We need that back.
Why would they let him keep it? Why wouldn't they go after it? They don't. They probably don't want to make a bigger deal about this than it is. Huh?
That, and I think, that I would love for the players' union to have to to try to defend something like that too.
Yes. No comments from the kid
Yeah.
yet, right?
No, nothing.
I'm
Nothing.
sure he's gonna.
He's home partying, Pat. He don't care.
So the other managers came over and said, "Hey, your catcher's telling
Tigers.
us what's coming."
Class A, yes.
Unbelievable.
Like your guys telling our guys what's coming. But
That's-
here's my thing is how could you be so stupid as to make it that simple to get busted?
Yes, yeah. They don't know what you know. You know what we don't have down there? A good culture. It's a bad
Right.
culture. You know. By the way, my guy, Herb Street last night. He had a culture and a group within 10 words last night. A culture. We got to, it's, talking about the culture of the Bills and it's
Oh,
not. NFL doesn't have culture. They got ass kicking. That's what they got. The Bills got a bunch of hard nosed, crazy SOBs with a great quarterback who will run through a freaking wall. It's not culture. It's talent.
Herbstreit's a college guy. I just don't. I
I
can't
know,
get into him being on
but the other
NFL
thing
games.
is, they got he's the group. The group, is now, it started. Everybody's got. It's not a team. It's not a
Yeah.
defense. It's not an offense. It's our group. Where
Yeah.
did that come from? Where did group come from?
Group is new to me. Culture is not new. Group is.
No,
And
no,
in
culture.
fact, Pat, tell me about a good group to buy a car from.
Yeah.
You've got a good culture when
Well,
it comes to selling
The
cars.
Valley group of GM dealers. They were a group 10, 12 years ago. They were, they are a group. They're a bunch of car dealers. They're not football players. They're car dealers in Apple Valley and Hastings. They have the 4 varieties of Buick SUVs, from the kind of smaller one to the big honking one. If you got a bunch of kids you want to take to hockey practice. And they also have the new station wagon, the Regal station wagon that they have. The Suchi, I haven't even seen it yet. Suchi boy tells me it's fantastic. Looks like a Mercedes, he said, or a BMW or something. But anyway, I got to go out and look at one of those. The Valley Group of GM dealers, right now we have a full stock. We have low interest rates, 0.9, 1.9 for select vehicles. And we also have factory rebates are back. Remember factory rebates? You didn't give any of those after the pandemic. You can get them now. Valley Group of GM dealers. Check them out this weekend. Hastings and Apple Valley.
Beautiful, sir. We'll talk to you on Monday, perhaps talking about a Vikings win against the 49ers. How about that?
Yes, and perhaps we'll have more information on the cheating catcher, which I just found out about 2 minutes ago.
Slider.
That is
Cut fastball. Change up. Curve.
What a great story.
Slurve.
Up and
Don't you
in.
love it? Don't you love it when arrogant kind of people who try to keep everything kind of get kicked in the ass on something like this? It's kind of funny. I like Fal. I got nothing against Falvey, but I think it's funny that you think you think you control the information, and then all of a sudden this pops up.
This kid controls that. That's what we found out.
All
All right,
right,
Reusse. Talk to you Monday.
Yeah, bye.
Thanks.
See you, Pat. Reusse Unchained, Purple Daily, Twin Show. Plenty of stuff coming at you here on a Friday. Thanks for listening.
Slider.
Curveball.